Hello everybody, I'm Rotten John and welcome back to Conan Exiles. Today we just got a new update and I think some of you are going to be a little excited about it, so let's jump right into it. So as you can see, we now have character transfers between servers now. And this is in solo player and solo player when you host your friends on a solo player session only for right now. This patch also brings in a bunch of exploit fixes, performance and stability fixes, new additions, building and placement fixes, and a few other fixes that have been needed for this game for a while now. Now the main thing we're going to look at today are under the new additions in the notes, and that is added character transfer between maps in single player and cooperative modes. So we're going to take a look at how that works, and then we're going to jump in game and we'll give you a little demonstration how it's working. Now before we jump in game and check it out, let's take a quick look at the Funcom forum notes here. Alright, with update 2.4.6, we now have character copy, and that is available on PC and in beta on Xbox. And once again, this also only applies to single player and co-op modes. So first and foremost, you can use this feature as many times and as much as you want to, as often as you want to. Also be aware that if you're hosting a co-op session, you have to transfer your buddies with you or they'll just get booted out of the co-op session altogether. But you can, however, transfer them along with you. Another big thing to keep in mind here also is that you can only transfer your character to a previous server that you've played on. If you haven't played on a SIPTA server, for example, you need to log into a SIPTA server and then play on it for a couple minutes so that you can then go back to the Exiled Lands and transfer your character over to the SIPTA server in single player or co-op mode. Now the last big thing to keep in mind here is if you've been playing on Exiled Lands and SIPTA, if you copy your character and then move to another server that you've already played on, you are going to overwrite or basically replace the character that you previously had on that solo or co-op session. So in other words, if you're a fresh spawn on SIPTA and you do a character copy and transfer over to Exiled Lands where you were level 60, for example, then you're now going to overwrite your level 60 character with the character that you copied from SIPTA and be back to a fresh spawn status. So you just might want to make sure you do a character copy on your most advanced character before switching servers. So then what exactly can we take with us and what do we get by bouncing back and forth between servers in solo player and co-op mode? Alright, so the notes say that we can take our name, our appearance, our character's feat points, all of the learned and acquired feat points, the experience and attribute points with us, as well as any journey steps that we've completed, and any and all items in our backpacks, equipment slots, and shortcut bars and wheels. And this also includes the armor that you're wearing. And pro tip here, remember that you can carry up to 200 items in your inventory or your backpack. You may be over encumbered, but you can actually carry up to 200 items in your inventory slots. You'll also keep your clan and rank status if you have any, if you guys have played on co-op and have a clan formed or whatever. You will leave behind your buildings, placeables, and thralls on that server that you transfer from. However, when you go back to it, you do inherit all of that stuff back in your single player and co-op mode. So yeah, pretty cool. You're not going to lose anything by bouncing around from server to server. Alright, so enough rambling on here. Let's jump into a solo player session here and see how this actually works. So here we're going to select a solo player session. We're going to do a continuance because I already have a character created on both Exiled Lands and Isle of SIPTA, so then we'll have no problems bouncing around back and forth between Exiled Lands and Isle of SIPTA. Alright, so here we are with our character on the Exiled Lands. I think we're going to pick up a few things, put them in our inventory, then we'll transfer to the Isle of SIPTA just to make sure that we can carry anything we want in our backpacks and transfer. Alright, we've got a few things in our inventory now, so let's do the character copy and then transfer over to the Isle of SIPTA with everything. So all you do is hit your escape button or go back to your main menu, and then you want to click on the character copy button there. And it gives you the little warnings here about what you're about to do. So in a nutshell, we're going to select our destination map, which we're on the Exiled Lands. So we're going to transfer over to the Isle of Sipta, and then you can select the characters to copy. If you're playing solo, you just select the copy only host character, and if you're playing with some friends, then you would select the other option, copy host and all other characters. Now next, you'll confirm these by actually typing copy in the field below. And yes, it does have to be in uppercase letters or it will not work. Now the next step is to just simply click on copy character. Now our character is successfully copied. Now at this point, when you click the back button, it takes you to the main menu where you can go back to selecting the server that you want to play on and transfer to now. And here's where you would select your single player / co-op game. Select your Isle of Sipta map, and it will now transfer your character and your buddies, if you're playing co-op, over to this new map. And now here we are. We're on the Isle of Sipta with the character that we had on the Exiled Lands map. Something else to notice here is we are collecting journey steps by transferring from the Exiled Lands to the Isle of Sipta and having some things in our inventory that we did not have on the Isle of Sipta. And of course, a storm's going to start up now, so it's going to get dark on screen. But if you look in our inventory now, everything that we picked up over on the Exiled Lands did transfer with us to the Isle of Sipta. So I think what we'll do now is grab a couple of items that are here on Sipta and then transfer back to the Exiled Lands and make sure that we can carry everything from Sipta back to the Exiled Lands with us. Alright, once again we're going to click on character copy. We're going to go through the same motions. We're going to transfer back to the Exiled Lands. We're just going to copy the host because it's just us. Then we're going to type in all capital letters copy. We're going to then click copy character. Then we're going to click on the back button. This will take us back to the main screen where we can now rejoin our solo Exiled Lands server. And look at that. We're right back on the Exiled Lands where we were when we transferred over to the Isle of Sipta. The building is now ours again. And then we'll see if we can place our rhino friend here that we brought back from the Isle of Sipta. Alright, pretty cool. Now we can share things that we bring from the Isle of Sipta on the Exiled Lands or vice versa. Now this feature is not yet available on PS4. That's probably due to it's got to be finalized and then approved by PlayStation before it can be released. However, in the patch notes it does say that PS will get it as soon as everything is finalized. And just a little side note here, I did bring back my Voidforge Gladius sword from the Isle of Sipta. And I think being able to transfer items back and forth between the two islands now is really going to be a big game changer for everybody. And I guess we're going to be stuck waiting to see if or when this feature will come to multiplayer in Conan Exiles. But anyways, that's all of this in a nutshell, how you're going to transfer your characters. Let me know down in the comments what you think about it. Let me know if you plan on using it or not. And let me know what your thoughts are on the new character server transfer feature. So I hope you guys found this helpful in using the new character transfer feature. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll catch you next time.